Welcome, welcome, welcome. Those of you outside getting drinks, come on in. We'll get rolling here in just a second. We are officially in the home stretch. We're the last couple weeks of youth group. Let me just tell you specifically. It's hard to believe that we have, after tonight, we have 3 youth groups left this school year. The 2nd, the 9th, and the 16th. Thank you, council. It is a shock. Kind of just caught me off guard. I didn't realize there's only 3 left. So there's only 3 youth groups left, and the school year's over. No, that's the last. We usually stop the week before that last week. Tradition would dictate this. Yeah, hopefully so. Hopefully. Here's what I'm hoping for. On this the last couple, we're hoping that, like on the 16th, we'll do the traditional slip and slide like we do. We're going to try to do that again. It's a lot of work, but it's always a lot of fun. Hopefully it won't be freezing cold like it is some years when we do it, and it's a little miserable, but it's, fun and miserable all at once. But we're also going to hope to have a food truck come. I'm hoping I've contacted. I don't want to get your hopes up, but a little bit. But I have made positive contact with the Waffle House food truck to come, which will be fun. So that would be delish. We had a positive email exchange about the possibility of the Waffle House organization sending a truck. So that'll be good times. Is there anyone here that doesn't like Waffle House? See? Good. We have a... Dana? Eee. Glad you didn't share that in your testimony. That would have been a negative. She's just like this. AC that works in the coffee shop, he doesn't like Waffle House, and he should be shamed for it. You should get on him about it. Here's an important date. Here is an important date for tomorrow. Well, that will be tomorrow. April 26th, Monday, tomorrow, is the last day to register for Fun in the Sun and Great Escape. Okay? So, got to sign up, got to register. We're going to have a blast. We forgot. Some of y'all have forgotten because we didn't get to go last year. How wonderful, how magnificent, how great of a time it is. No better way to kind of have this right in the middle of your summertime to kind of Fun in the Sun's more at the end, but a good way to finish up the summer as you head into the school year. Great Escape, it's earlier and it's in June. Great way to kick off summer. But it's going to be a great time. Hope that you're able to go. If you have any questions or anything, just let me know. If you're interested in scholarship or you don't know the dates or your parents need information, just let me know. We can make it work. But it's going to be a great time. We're also going to start up, once summertime hits, we're going to do some summer programming like we've done in the past. We're going to do what we call the lot, where it's really just a short devotion, and then we just play like parking lot style games, like tailgating games is basically what it is. We play cornhole, can jam, spike ball, 9 square, that kind of stuff. We always have like popsicles and ice cream and stuff. So it's just like a good summertime evening thing to do. A lot of fun. We'll have some different leaders and different interns that are going to be helping lead the devotions for it, which will be good. So you won't have to hear me all summer. You'll get a change of pace. But that'll be fun. And over the last couple years, it's kind of grown and we've gotten more people to come. But I hope that y'all will plan to attend that and to be a part of that. And I think that's all the announcements I have. I think we're just in the home stretch. We're meeting the 2nd, the 9th, and the 16th, and that's it. That's all she wrote for the school year. And we have senior talks to kind of finish it out. We have some more people that will be sharing over the next couple weeks. We're still solidifying a few things, but it's going to be good. Am I missing anything, leaders? Missing anything? Okay. Well, tonight we get to hear from our first 2 guys to do senior talks. Yeah, let's give it up for the boys. Let's hear it for the boys. that a song? Yeah. It's a song. Play the song, did you say? We'll play it at the end. Yeah, we'll play it at the end. But we've had great senior talks from Maddie and from Dory and from Ellen and from Abby. We've been blessed so far to hear some awesome senior talks. And we're going to continue with the guys, and we're going to continue as we finish out the school year. So I'm super excited for them to share, and I believe that Mr. Graham Hansen is lead off for the night. Is that right? We got Graham's plate music. We got plate music. Let's just feel it for a moment. Let's get in the feels. Some Smashing Pumpkins, circa 1995. Are you in the moment now? Yes. All right, he's in the moment. He's good. He's ready. Oh, we're going to get to the chorus first. Feel free to stand up and headbang or something. I know Jordan will. Get ready to rage, Jordan. There he goes. All right. Yeah. We all pumped up? Is everybody so hype right now? Yeah, hype? Okay, sweet. That was the point of the plate music. So, Graham's going to kick things off. Oh, yeah, look at that stud up there. Wow. I wonder what was just spoken when this picture was taken at Dory's house. That is Dory's kitchen. I see that's the patio going out. Yeah. Huh. New Year's. You wild kids. You wild kids. All right. Well. Yeah, that's what it's from. All right, well, Graham is going to be sharing with us tonight, and I've known Graham since he was just a wee little guy. Fun fact, and correct me if I'm wrong, Rachel, I didn't realize this, but they, joined at the same time that we did, right? Same Sunday? I think so. So when I moved here, and I started working at this church 15 years ago, almost 15 years ago. That's the same Sunday that the Hansens joined the church. And so, yeah. Amelia was not yet here. But Graham, so anyways, we go a long ways back. But I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to pray for Graham, and then I'm going to let him share. God, thank you so much for Graham. And we pray that you would speak through him, that you would help calm him if he's nervous about anything, that you would help us to put away any distraction so that we can hear what you want us to hear through his story. God, we thank you for Graham. We ask all these things in your name. Amen. All right, buddy.
All right, so like Ryan said, we've been going to this church. I have no memory of going to any other church. So I grew up in a Christian household. Both my parents were Christian, and we pretty much go to church every Sunday, and Sunday school and youth and everything. So when I was little in elementary school, I really didn't pay attention in church. It was kind of just trying not to fall asleep and just being there because my parents forced me to be there. And then going into middle school, I started kind of to pay attention. I hated the songs because they're long and boring at our church. So I would just listen to the lesson and then kind of zone out for the rest of it. But youth starts in middle school, and my brother went to youth, so we did too, and I actually really enjoyed it. And Fun in the Sun started too, and that was it was something fun that you could do with your friends while still involving God, which made it a lot easier to talk about and be around it because you didn't have to go through it by yourself. So that's I don't really have that much for middle school. And then going into high school, more of my friends started going to youth. Most of them started going in high school, and going to youth was something that I actually wanted to do instead of just because my parents made me to. And then Fun in the Sun it's more freedom than Great Escape, so I had even more fun, and most of my friends were there, and the lessons were actually something that I enjoyed, and the songs were something that I enjoyed instead of not liking it and just being there because I had to. And so the bulk of this is going to be about junior year, like most of us. Obviously, there was a pandemic. So junior year, I really started liking coming to youth because all of my friends were starting to come, with ones that haven't come before. And I liked coming to youth to actually learn about it, not just to hang out with my friends, which kind of what it had been before. And I actually started paying attention to what Ryan was saying. And we also started having a Bible study since there weren't many seniors that year. And so I feel like we all got closer, and we actually started talking about God together instead of just seeing each other at youth and passing. We actually went deeper into what they were saying. And then in March, obviously, the youth stopped, Bible study stopped, church stopped. So it was kind of, I was on an upward trend, and then everything went down. And during the pandemic, I don't know about, I had a lot of fun. I got to hang out with my friends and my family and my girlfriend and her family all the time. And I was filling my life with all these things that I like to do, and playing video games and just hanging out. And the only thing that I didn't fill my life with that I should have was God. Because youth and Bible study were my opportunities to get closer with God. And without those things, it was hard to just do things by myself. And so, Fun in the Sun got canceled, which additionally, that was like everybody, that's like a spiritual high when you go, and that whole week is just spent learning about God and just having fun and hanging out with people. And so, outside of a couple conversations with my girlfriend, I didn't talk about God really at all during that. And then, senior year, I didn't realize how much I missed going to youth and Bible study until we actually, started to go back. I realized how fun it actually was. And, small groups with Ryan helped a lot because I've known Ryan, 15 years. And so he's a lot easier to talk to than some other people that I've had small groups with before. And all of our friends were together in that as well. And senior Bible study has been great, and I am going to be very sad without it, if I'm being honest. And this year has been just good. I've started interacting with God and praying by myself more without anybody telling me I had to. And so I'm pretty happy right now. I'm liking where I'm going and what I'm doing. Obviously, lacrosse just ended, and that was a really fun thing, but, So, I'm looking forward to what's coming. And I have two verses. Jeremiah 29:12 and 13, which are, in those days when you pray, I will listen. If you look for me wholeheartedly, you will find me. I did my senior Bible study on that because I like that it says, if you look for me wholeheartedly, that you will find me, instead of just, most people hear the 29:11, which I know the plans I have for you. And then also Psalms 46:10, which is, be still and know that I am God. So I like those two verses. Cade Timms is still single.
That's good. All right, that was awesome. Thank you, Graham. And pen. Thank you. Yeah. And just a reminder too, as you're listening to these stories, just what I always say, and I didn't say beforehand, is everybody here has a story. Everybody here has a testimony. You may not feel like there's much there, but God is at work in your life. You're not where you are by accident. The things that you do, the things, all those things have helped kind of get you to this point. And one day, if you're not a senior yet, you will be, and you'll have the opportunity to be up here and to share your story. And so it's a great time to reflect and to think about, where am I right now and where am I going? Where am I headed? not just like grades and sports and school, but just spiritually. How's my walk with God, and what kind of story am I going to have to tell? And so I want to encourage you to continue to think about those things and to continue to reflect on those as you hear these. And next up, I guess we have some plate music for Liam as well. They wanted some plate music. Okay. All right. I'm ready now. I'm pumped. I hope you're ready. Um, and Liam is another one that started coming to youth when you were sixth grade. I mean, yeah, you started coming as soon as you could. So Liam's a guy that I got to know when he started coming as a wee little middle school baby. Apparently, he's got a real love for goats. Just likes to pet goats and get his pictures made. So, not a swimsuit. Not a swimsuit. Yeah. So, anyways, that's Liam, and so he's gonna share. Liam's been along. He's been at every Great Escape, Fun in the Sun that I think has been offered that he could go to as well, and has been around all summer and just always kind of been one of the guys around here. So, anyways, let me pray for Liam, and then we'll get rolling, and I'll turn over the mic to him. God, thank you so much for Liam. Thank you that you brought him to this youth group, and I pray that you would just speak through him and that you would speak through his story, and God, that you would help us to really focus and to listen. God, we ask all these things in your name. Amen.
Hey, guys, I'm Liam. Yeah, hey, guys. So I started off, I was born into a Christian family. So I went to church in my early life, like elementary school. Like Graham, I always thought it was kind of boring. I often slept or like doodled on the little offering cards. But during that time, I would always be a little bit nervous about stuff, and I became like insecure, and it just wasn't the best for me. And I started kind of lashing out, and I developed a very like unhealthy habit of running my mouth and not thinking about things before I do them. So this just kept carrying on through all of elementary school. I was in trouble all the time. I really didn't think about what I was doing, didn't really recognize my consequences. I remember one time my mom, it got so bad, she took me to the jail behind like downtown, and she left me at the jail, and she said, "Have fun here. You're done." And I got left there for 10 minutes. It was terrifying. But I just made it through elementary school. I was a little loose cannon. And about sixth grade, my mom really encouraged me to join youth group. And as you might know, I'm not actually from this church. I go to the Methodist. That's my home church. And so I tried it out there, and it just didn't feel right. I really didn't like the youth leader there. He wasn't the best guy. And so all my friends came here, and one of my buddies, Tucker, was like, "Yo, man, come with us." So I was like, all right. And I remember the first day I showed up, I wore a polo shirt and khaki shorts, and I was so out of place. But I came to hang out with everybody, and at this time, like, I really wasn't very religious. I was Christian, technically, but the whole time I basically was just kind of there to be there socially, which is one of my weaknesses. But I kept going to middle school. I was constant. I took a few breaks where I'd miss like a month or two just because I still couldn't grasp the point. And throughout middle school, my bad habit of saying things I shouldn't say or running my mouth continued to get me in trouble, and it persisted. I remember there was one time in 8th grade. 8th grade was a fun time. I'd be in trouble every other day. I would backtalk teachers. I was very defiant. I always thought I was in the right, and I always had this personal insecurity that everybody was out to get me. and it really just became like to control my life. So my mom and I had like a really rough relationship in my 8th grade due to that, and that persisted on to my freshman year of high school, which was really rough. And I had been going to Great Escape this whole time, but I thought I had become close with my faith, but it was really just kind of like a 4-day spiritual high. I would come back and immediately forget everything, go back to my old ways of causing havoc. And so I carried on. I went to my freshman year. I struggled to understand the concept behind everything, and I decided to start slacking off in school. This furthered my mom and I's downward relationship a lot more because we would fight every day. I'd have a 0 every other day because I was just lazy. I didn't really have motivation. I didn't see the point. And about towards the end, I finally just sat down and I was like, what am I doing? And I decided to fix my grades, and that carried on. But my sophomore year, as my mom and I's relationship began to repair, I started caring about my grades more. You know, I was being social. I was hanging out with my friends. I was lucky to have a great group of friends from the start. My grandmother actually got breast cancer, and it was a really rough time, but luckily they caught it early, so we were able to make sure that the tumor was removed and it was all fine. Until about like 2 weeks later, I remember I got picked up from school by my dad, and my dad never picks me up, so I was like, oh. And he was like, there's been an accident, we have to go to the hospital. And we went up to Erlanger in Chattanooga, and my grandmother at some point had passed out, completely dehydrated, and she had gone to the ICU. I remember I couldn't really tell what was going on. We were running behind, apparently. I remember my mom calling my dad in the car, crying, and it felt awful. I got there, and they told me they were putting her to, like, sleep. They were putting a tube down her throat, I think, and I remember I had to go in there with my mom and say goodbye, and it was rough. I thought it was goodbye for the last time, and just to see somebody like that, it really hurt. And I remember while I was in that room, I saw a cross right next to her bed, and it began to start a downward decline in the faith that I barely had. I remember sitting down in that lobby and praying, and I didn't pray much, and it wasn't even like a prayer. It was just me asking why. Like, why me? Why is this happening? And I began to resent God, and even though my school life was fine, everything else was fine, my faith was not there. And so in order to like fill this void from my rough faith, I began to seek terrible emotional attachments with people and ended up hurting myself in the process. I was meeting up with the wrong people, hanging out with some of the wrong people when I shouldn't have, and it wasn't great. But over time, some miracle, my grandma got better. I don't know how. I remember they were like, it was like a 2% survival rate. And I remember just being so thankful, yet I still resented God for all the pain that my family had been through and everything that had happened to us. And so I just had this void in me, and it persisted. I still had my friends, but besides that, I was still running my mouth to people, doing things I shouldn't. And that all built up to Fun in the Sun my sophomore year. I had gone my freshman year, same thing, the spiritual high. But there was something different this year, and it happened the last night. I remember they asked everybody to come up and like reaffirm their confirmation to Christ. And I remember I stood up and I went up there. And I went straight up to Doug, and I told him the truth. I told Doug that I was broken. I told him I had a void in me that needed to be filled. And as Doug talked to me, I don't remember exactly what he said, but it felt reassuring, and it felt like Christ was speaking through Doug to me. And after this moment, I really realized what I was doing wrong. I realized the holes I needed to fix, the life I needed to change, and I had to fix a lot with myself. And I began to become closer to my faith. I got way more active in youth group. I began to listen to the lesson, understand it, relate it to me in a way. because it's sometimes very confusing and hard to understand. But as that happened, I was just lucky to have a great friend group around me that supported me, and that carried on through my junior and senior year. I had progressed. I had gotten back in my faith. I'd gotten back with my friends. I'd gotten back with everything. But I still had my problem with my temper and running my mouth and stuff. But my junior year, I remember, it really upset a few people, some things I said, and it ruined a few of my closest relationships. And after that moment, I learned that I have to stop. I have to think about everything I say before I do it. And after that moment, I've tried to think about everything I've said. I've avoided any conflicts with people. I don't get in trouble anymore. I'm not a delinquent like I used to be. Ryan knows I did some delinquent stuff back in the middle school days. But, I was just happy to have a great group around me. And I have matured drastically from what I was, and I plan to continue. And I have furthered my faith at this point to a point I never thought possible. And I'm going to end with Proverbs 12:18, which says, "There is that speaketh rashly like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of wise is health." Thank you.
That was great. Thank both of y'all for sharing, and it's true, man. Like everything they shared. I mean, Liam was tough in middle school, and it has been unbelievable, and so made me so proud to see the maturity and the growth that has happened. So I'm super proud of all you seniors for the ways that y'all have grown and all that stuff. That's the cool thing about hearing senior talks is I remember 6th grade for a lot of y'all, and just in 7th and 8th and the ups and the downs along the way, and to see y'all up here and sharing, kind of moving on to the next stage is awesome. And so proud of all y'all, and I look forward to hearing more senior talks. I know we got Kate and Shaheen coming up soon. We still got some others that are on the schedule. I got to look at the schedule. But it's gonna be awesome. So, again, the next 3 weeks you are not gonna want to miss, because there's just gonna be more of these senior talks and just getting to hear people's stories. And soon enough, you're gonna be up here. We're gonna be in the same situation next year. And here's how I want to challenge y'all as we finish up tonight: is begin to think and to take inventory about where you are. If you're not a senior, especially if you're a junior, or you're below, or whatever grade you're in, just think about where you are and kind of make a mental mark of that. Because one of the things that you'll hear in a lot of these talks is that at some point there's just a lot of like, I'm doing the same thing year after year. I make this commitment at Great Escape or at Fun and Sun, and then I get to Great Escape or Fun and the Sun, and I'm in the exact same place. But then at some point, a lot of them have made a choice, and they've kind of opened themselves up to God working in their lives, and have kind of crossed over that, and are making steps of growth. And so I want you to just begin to think about, where are you, and how is your story going to change over this next year? So let me close us in prayer, and then we got a little time if you want to stay and hang out and go back down and play 9 square, or in the air or on the ground. We have 2 options of 9 square, or you just want to sit around and talk and hang out for a little bit, or if you need to get on, you can do that. But we're going to be back next week, 4 to 6, with more talks, and I'm so excited, and I'm so thankful for you seniors. And let me pray. God, thank you for just again hearing how you have been at work in people's lives, and you're a God that when you start something, you finish it, as it says in Scripture. And so I thank you that you are not only changing all of our seniors and all of our students, that you're continuing to do that, and you're going to continue to sanctify, which means to help us to continue to grow to be more like you. And I pray that each person in this room would see you and would experience you and would feel you, and you would challenge us to grow. You would help us to not be complacent, to get stuck where we are, but you would challenge us to continue to move forward in our faith. God, we love you, and we thank you for all the many blessings that you give us. Amen. All right.